I wish I could tell you this was easy, but no, this story is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This story is about hard work and determination. It's about goal setting and making a difference in this world. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a story about a man who moved to Florida. He went from $0 to $500,000 as a brand new realtor, and his name was me. That's right, little old me. I moved to Florida about 5 years ago, and I had no clue what I was gonna do in life. I quickly realized that I wanted to get my real estate license. So I took the test, got my real estate license, and signed up with eXp Realty. In my first year of real estate, I made $80,000 in commission. In my second year, I did $250,000 in commission. And my third year, I made $510,000 in commission, focusing on something that most agents didn't even want to touch: rentals. You're probably sitting there wondering, how on earth did I make $510,000 focusing on rentals? Well, I make about $2,000 on average per rental deal, and I'm doing anywhere from 20 to 30 rental deals every single month. I'm only putting in a few hours of work per rental deal. Where on earth can you make that kind of money working a few hours? Think about it. You're making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 plus every single month working with renters, only spending 2 to 3 hours per deal. The best part about this is you can do it too. I'm sure you were taught by your broker or your mentor or your team leader to focus on the big deals and ignore the small little rentals, right? And I'm here to tell you that's complete bull. I heard the exact same thing when I was starting out, but I'm so lucky I ignored it and started focusing on what 99% of realtors don't want to focus on: working with the renters. I saw there was a gap in the market, so why would I turn down renters when nobody else would help them and I can actually make thousands of dollars per deal? Didn't make any sense to me. So I said to myself, why don't I help them? And I did. The reception I got was nothing short of miraculous. I posted my first MLS listing on Facebook Marketplace in December of 2019, and about 10 minutes later, I started getting phone call after phone call after phone call. I couldn't even believe I was getting this many leads just from posting a single listing on Facebook Marketplace. Now, of course, I did have permission from the listing agent because it wasn't my listing. At this point, I was a brand new realtor. I didn't even know how to talk to people on the phone. I didn't know how to do showings, open up doors. I knew none of that. So I learned. My first family that I helped was desperate. It was December of 2019, and it was right about to be Christmas time. They didn't have a home to live in, and they were getting really nervous that they were going to be homeless for the holidays. I must have done at least 10 showings for them, but eventually I came through for them and I found them a home. The look on their face when I was giving them the keys was priceless. They were breaking down in tears. They were crying to me. They were so overwhelmed with happiness and joy that I had found them a home when no other realtor would. From that moment on, I was hooked. I was like, okay, real estate, this is for me. That moment changed my life forever, and from then on, I started focusing on rentals. That next year, I did about 50 deals and made about $80,000 in commission. But I'll be honest, I really wasn't working that hard. I could have been putting in way more effort. I still had the mentality that as a realtor, you make your own schedule, you don't have a boss, you can do whatever you want, right? So I would go to the pool at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would play video games, play Netflix. But one day, me and my girlfriend were talking, and she told me that she wanted me to do better. She didn't want to see me goofing around during the daytime. She wanted me to apply myself. So I did. I took her advice. I said, you know what? You're right. If I'm getting these results from what I'm doing now, what if I actually applied myself and started working 10, 12 plus hours every single day? So from that moment on, I did. And that's when everything changed for me. In my second year, I made $250,000 in commission. That's after 1 year in real estate, I started making about $20,000 plus every single month. That ended up being about 170 deals, most of those being rental deals with a few house sales thrown in there. But yeah, most of those were rental deals. And I did that as a new realtor. But it wasn't enough. I wanted more. I knew I was still leaving money on the table. At that point, I might have been getting 200 leads every single day, but I couldn't get back to everybody. So there would be weeks that go by that I had thousands of leads just sitting there waiting to be answered. So I got efficient and I got smart. I started putting systems and processes in place so I can shave off time from every single task that I was doing. And doing this, oh my God, let me tell you, did it work? I started responding to every single lead I had coming in. Yes, now I did start working a little bit more when I started doing this. I went from working maybe 10 to 12 hours a day to probably around 14 to 16 hours a day. But I think it was so worth it because in my third year, I made $510,000 in commission. That's right. Just after 2 short years in the business, I started making $40,000 plus every single month. Now I did this as a solo agent. I didn't have any kind of team. I had no assistant. I had nobody helping me whatsoever. I didn't even have a transaction coordinator, and you don't need one. You can do it alone. I learned how to maximize my time and start working a lot more efficient than I was before. Now, yes, I was busting my butt and I was working a ton of hours every single day. I wasn't taking days off. I wasn't taking vacations, none of that. But it paid off in the end. And I'm so happy I pushed myself through those hard times. I would have problem after issue after nonsense, and I would just deal with it, and I would move on to the next deal once I got it closed. I started responding to people way quicker. I started doing follow-ups. I really started getting back to people in like an hour, when sometimes I would spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours before responding to somebody. And it made the world of a difference because I started maximizing my time. That's really all it took for me to grow to $500,000 a year. I was posting listings on Facebook Marketplace. I was responding to all of my leads. I was doing follow-ups. I was doing showing after showing. I started doing this thing where I'd actually have them put an offer in, do like a credit background eviction report, proof of income, driver's license before we even did a showing. And that expanded it even more. So I would do these little smart tactics which would utilize my time better so I can make more money in the end. I wish I could tell you this was easy, but no, this story is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This story is about hard work and determination. It's about goal setting. It's about sitting down and busting your butt every single day and making a difference in this world. My story is about the potential of every single person when you sit down and focus on one thing and one thing only. When you niche down is what they call it. You want to get into one niche and focus on that one niche. I like doing rentals. I think that's the best way to do it, especially for me where I made $500,000 a year. I did it doing rentals and a little bit of house sales on top of that. But all of my buyers were once renters. They either rented a property with me and then bought later, or they were a renter and actually transitioned into buying as I was finding them a rental home. So the whole entire notion that you can't actually get buyers when you're working with renters, that's not true whatsoever. I started building a name for myself. I became a master at rentals. I was the person that you would go to if you had a hard situation and you needed to find a rental in a tough time. That's what made the difference. I became the expert in a certain field, and I built my brand. I built my name, so everybody would come to me. They would refer me to their family and friends. My business just kept growing and growing and growing every single day. It's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. It's about your attitude and your motivation and your determination. It's about how hard you're willing to work. If you're going to do something that somebody else won't, then you will succeed. I was some kid from Connecticut that was on the verge of going broke, and I transformed my entire life within 3 short years. Fast forward from the beginning of my real estate career where I was making $0 to now where I'm making $500,000 every single year. I've done over $1 million in net commission, and now I can bring it to the next level. I realized I don't have to do this alone anymore. I can build a team, which I've done, and I can bring on other agents to help me out so I can scale up. But that's a topic for another video. This video is about how I went from a brand new realtor with no network, no sphere of influence, to making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year as a solo agent with no help from anybody at all. And the best part is, you can do it too. I sat down and looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you can do this. You can make a difference in the world. Just apply yourself. If you want something, go out there and take it. No more messing around, no more playing games. Stop the funny business and show people why you're great. I did it. So why can't you? Here's my one biggest piece of advice. Take a niche and stick to that one niche. Become an expert and a master in that field. If you do, you're going to become the expert that everybody reaches out to, that everybody knows. You're going to build a name for yourself, a brand for yourself. And there is no way, if that's the only thing that you're working on, that you're thinking about, that you're studying, that you're learning new things every day about, there is no way you're not going to succeed. You will make it to the top very quickly, just like I did. Making money is all about building connections and relationships with people. You want to make a friend out there. Obviously, they're your clients, but you want to make a friend with them. You don't want to become that person that's known for having a bad attitude or being stuck up or pushy. You don't want that at all. You want to be nice and kind and compassionate, and you want to be the guy or woman that gets things done. There's no better time than right now to start. Don't push it off for the next day or tomorrow, because guess what? Tomorrow never comes. There's no better time than right now. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tune in for my next videos, drop a comment below, and I'll catch everybody in the next one. All right, that was pretty good.